Welcome, and today I want to talk about Clif High's views on consciousness, markets, linguistic programming, or how he actually collects his data and then puts it through this process to then potentially spit out the future in a way, or future probabilities. Now, it's very obvious Clif High is an absolute genius. He's a modern day genius, and I listen to every interview that comes out, and he's often talking to many different people. Some will be in the cryptocurrency space, some will be in the sort of radical news space, some will be in the extraterrestrial space. And the more and more I listen, the more and more I understand that he's a genius, and what he's developed and what goes on in his mind is very unique. So I find it extremely valuable to listen. And I love listening to him and his views on consciousness, the flow of nature, and his understanding of nature, the environment, volcanoes, eruptions, ice ages, and actually the cycles of nature, because these cycles of nature are no different than the cycles within trading or the cycles within cryptocurrencies. So once you get to understand consciousness, once you get to understand how reality works, as Clif High has spent a lifetime work actually doing this, then you can actually fine-tune it and pinpoint areas such as cryptocurrencies to use that vast array of knowledge, wisdom, and data, and then pinpoint an area and actually have it benefit others. So I actually want to quote Clif High, something that he said in one of his recent interviews. It's about consciousness, and if you don't know much about me, I'm heavily into transformation. I'm heavily into meditation, yoga. I go to India a lot. I spend a lot of time in ashrams. I do a lot of daily practice. I've done breath work, 3 Vipassanas, which are silent meditation 10-day programs. Pretty much anything that involves me transforming myself, I'm interested in. So whenever Clif High talks about consciousness and how reality works, because I understand it to work in a certain way simply because going to India, spending time with some yogis and these things, and they explain how it works. Yes, it's on a mental level because, you know, I haven't got to a stage in my meditation where I can experience these things that these people talk about. But Clif High mentioned this, and I actually want to quote him so I don't do him a disservice, but he says, "Energy creates and destroys itself 22 trillion times per second." And I've heard this from multiple yogis, that the reality and what we actually live in is constructed and then destructed 22 trillion times per second. And once you get to a level of meditation or enlightenment or whatever, you actually get to experience that potentially. But Clif High, you know, he speaks of this. This is what gives us the perception of motion. For example, motion, things moving. Because our brains don't work in 22 trillion times per second. Our brains work at 60 frames per second. Therefore, it's an illusion that things are solid. So I love how Clif actually has just such a deep understanding of consciousness, because it gives me a lot more belief in his work. It's not just some random person who's only interested in making money, who's only interested in cryptocurrencies. No, he's interested in life. And cryptocurrencies is just a spot where he's put his magnifying glass to use his wisdom for the benefit of people. Now in Clif's reports, so if you haven't got his report, it's halfpasthuman.com. I'll put a link below. And in the bottom of these reports, he explains how it works. So within his reports down the bottom, there's a section that actually explains how they work, how he actually collects the data. And I actually want to read a part of that, once again quoting how this actually works, because it's extremely interesting. it shows the level of depth that he's actually coming from. A lot of people just read his reports and think he's some fortune teller, but he's actually coming from a very spiritual place, and he's offering this knowledge from that place. So he says, predictive linguistics works to predict future language about perhaps future events due to the nature of humans. It is my operating assumption that all humans are psychic, though the vast majority do nothing to cultivate it as a skill, and are likely unaware of it within themselves. In spite of this, universe and human nature has it that they leak prescient information out continuously in their choice of language. My software processing collects these leaks and aggregates them against a model of a timeline, and that information is provided in this report. So the basis of his report is actually that we're all psychic. So I'm not sure if many people know that, but that's the first assumption, that we are psychic, and what we speak, and he collects it from the internet because we're putting a lot of stuff out onto the internet. What we actually speak, he collects, he finds where there's emotional peaks, and via the language that we're speaking, we're almost predicting the future through our voice, or we can sense the future and we're starting to speak about it before it actually happens. So it's quite profound. Now, I'm so interested, and I've been studying psychology and the subconscious mind for many years, and I've seen what an impact it's had when I work with people to actually shift their subconscious mind to align with their goals. For example, our subconscious mind works at about 40 million bits per second. So it's processing, it has the capacity to process 40 million bits per second. Our conscious mind has the capacity to process about 40 bits per second. Therefore, our subconscious mind is roughly 1 million times more powerful than our conscious mind. Now we bring it back to trading, we bring it back to cryptocurrencies, we bring it back to making money. We make decisions most of the time from our conscious mind. So if we want to make money, oh yeah, I want to make money, I want to make money. But if we've got these beliefs within our subconscious mind, for example, money is bad, money is negative, with money comes responsibility. Our conscious mind might think, no, that's rubbish, I want money, of course I want money to do this, I can go on a holiday, I can be free, I don't have to work ever again. But you have no idea what's going on in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful than your conscious mind. So let that sink in a little bit. No matter what, oh no, I want to make money, I'm going to choose this cryptocurrency, I'm going to save money here. But if you've got some belief, and we all pick up our beliefs from childhood, from our parents, it's all past conditioning. If you've got a belief that if you grew up around a family that had a lot of money, but maybe your parents fought, for example, you could subconsciously take on a belief that money brings unhappiness. Money brings drama. Money is evil. And if that is inside your subconscious, until you shift that programming, shift that tape, then you're going to go ahead and make sure that you don't have much money, because your subconscious mind is actually protecting you. It's trying to protect you because you have a belief that money is evil, or money causes drama. It's because that's what you learned, that's what you absorbed. Therefore, you're going to, for example, choose subconsciously a cryptocurrency that will lose you money, because your subconscious mind does not want much money, and your subconscious mind processing 1 million or 40 million bits of information, but that's 1 million times stronger than your conscious mind, is going to override your conscious mind. Say if you come up with the best research in the world, you're going to get this emotional impulse to choose something that is actually going to go down. For example, if you hold negative beliefs around money. So I wanted to tie this in with consciousness, because the subconscious mind is vitally important, and people actually don't understand the importance and the potential when we actually align our subconscious mind with our goals, with our beliefs, like our conscious beliefs, with our desires. The way you can think of it is like your conscious mind is like a fly that sits on top of an elephant, and your subconscious mind is like the elephant. The elephant is the boss. It's moving in whatever direction it wants to go. The fly can say, no, go right, go right. The elephant's going left. If that's the programming that your subconscious mind has. You are doing so many things right now. For example, your heart's beating, you're processing information, you're taking bits around from your environment, you're watching me and you're making assumptions, you're making opinions. This is all subconscious programming. Subconscious programming, fortunately for some, unfortunately for most, produces the reality that we currently live in. Gandhi actually had a quote, and I actually want to quote this because this shows the power of our beliefs that we hold in our subconscious mind. Gandhi says, keep your beliefs positive, because your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. So your beliefs and your subconscious beliefs are at the foundation of your current reality. So whatever is showing up in your reality, in your relationships, in your finances, within cryptocurrencies, whatever's showing up right now can lead you back to certain beliefs. So it's very powerful to actually be able to change beliefs. Now I'll link a link below because I'm actually a transformational coach. That's actually what I do. Cryptocurrencies is something that I love and I invest a lot of time in because I think it is a new way of living. I think it is a new paradigm shift. But my main thing I do is transformational coaching with the subconscious mind. And if you want to integrate your financial success, your financial wealth into your subconscious mind and actually make sure everything's aligned, then there's powerful techniques that I do one-on-one sessions with to instantaneously. It's not like affirmations, it's not like you have to meditate. It's like instantly we shift the mind, we get confirmation that it's shifted, and you actually go about your life very differently. It's a powerful technique. I'm trained in it, and if you're interested, I'll put a link below for more information. I also wanted to share some words from one of the best traders there has been in history. Now this is from the book Market Wizards, and it was written I think over 20 years ago. Fantastic book, but Jack, I think his name is Schwager, went and interviewed the best traders in the world. And one interview that really sticks out to me is with a guy called Ed Seykota. And this guy, compared to most of the other people in this book, had such a balance. He lived in the mountains. He was one of the only people that Jack interviewed that didn't have huge amounts of trading TVs everywhere and was constantly yelling and saying this. He was so balanced. They walked into nature. He was about, having fires at nighttime, enjoying himself. Yet, he was probably the most successful trader in this book and potentially in the world. So I want to just read this quickly. So during the period, the accounts Ed managed have witnessed an absolutely astounding rate of return. For example, as of mid-1988, one of his customer accounts, which started with $5,000 in 1972, was up over 255,000% on a cash-on-cash basis. Normalized for withdrawals, the account theoretically was up several million%. I know of no other trader who has matched this track record over the same length of time. So that's phenomenal, and it's interesting once again that Ed has a concept of consciousness. He was into meditation. He was into the subconscious mind. He was into all these things that gives him so much more wisdom and basis to produce his decision on. He's not just looking at chart patterns, flag patterns, head and shoulders, moving averages. That's not all he's doing. And he's not just reading newspapers, YouTube videos, looking at the fundamentals. He's doing that, but he's also listening to his intuition, and he's also meditating, and he's also aligning his subconscious mind, because he knows that if you want to be the best, they're the things that you actually have to implement. So a quick thing that I want to read out, and then we're going to wrap it up, is one of the last things he said in his interview. One of the best ways to increase profits is to do goal setting and visualization in order to align the conscious and subconscious with making profits. So here we have the best trader, probably who's ever lived, increasing his portfolios in the millions of %. And he recommends that one of the best things you can do to become a successful trader is improve your subconscious mind. Align your subconscious mind with your conscious mind. Now, this is extremely important for health. This is extremely important for relationships. This is extremely important for finances. And this channel is specifically cryptocurrencies. So if you're looking for an actual edge because you see a pattern potentially that things don't work out, or you get out at the wrong times, this is all done from the subconscious mind. And until you change your subconscious mind and align your subconscious mind, you're going to keep getting stuck in the same cycles over and over and over again. So I hope you got something. This was more on the psychology of training, the psychology of consciousness, the subconscious mind. It was just broad, and I love, taking it back to Clif High and how he really pieces it all together and comes from a powerful, very broad understanding of existence and then pinpoints. So does this guy. One of the best traders in the world comes from a very broad perspective and then pinpoints trading. And I really encourage you to do the same if you're serious about getting into cryptocurrencies, if you're serious about making a lot of money or being financially secure, then you really want to take advantage of the most powerful tool you have at your disposal, your subconscious mind. It's either working for you or against you. Most of us, because of our conditioning, because of our environments that are often based in fear, they've been conditioned negatively. So it's up to us to decondition, rewire the subconscious mind. Once it's rewired, it's working for you and with you, and away you go. Your reality starts to shift. If you don't change your subconscious mind and you just change your actions that you're doing, you'll get very little results. It's like a tree. The subconscious mind is like the roots. The actions, for example, are like the leaves on the tree. Yeah, you can try and water the leaves. That might help a little bit. Change the actions a little bit. trial and error. But if you're changing your subconscious mind, you're changing the strength and quality of the roots of the tree. You don't even have to worry about the leaves. The leaves will be vibrantly healthy and strong because of the roots of the tree, and you just trust the foundation that you've built for yourself. So if you liked this video, there's going to be more coming out about the psychology of trading, because I think it's very, very important. And if you liked it, give it a like, give us a subscribe, and until next time, all the best for your trading and investing.